All right, guys, 5.5 hours later, me and Dad finally made it up here to Wood-Mizer. Right on the money. Good deal. So welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. Getting an early start this morning. It's about 6 a.m. I'm waiting on Dad to get here. We're actually gonna pick Dad up at the new barn. He'll leave his truck down there. We're headed up to Batesville, Indiana today to Wood-Mizer to pick up the brand new edger. You guys hang in there. So it's about a 5-hour drive up there, so we're gonna do it in one day, and I hope to be up there before lunchtime. We'll see what happens with traffic. Looks like Dad is at the barn waiting on us, so that's good. I'll probably call in some breakfast for us on the way up at 93, get us some bacon biscuits. And for you people that live in this area, Northeast Tennessee, there's a place called Cafe 93. Man, they got good breakfast. Their biscuits are hard to beat. Hard to beat. And for those of you that are curious, the truck is now repaired. It was a fuel modulator that went bad on it. About a $400 fix if you had to pay full price for the modulator and the labor. But luckily, when I bought this truck, I got an extended warranty, so it just cost me the $100 copay, and that was it. It's a little foggy this morning, but looks like Dad is waiting on us. You got your coffee?
Yes.
All right, we got coffee.
Yes. Let's get our license.
Cafe 93, this is Hannah. How may I help you?
Hey, I need 3 bacon biscuits to go.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, I got 3 bacon biscuits to go. I'll get it in for you, honey.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, 5.5 hours later, me and Dad finally made it up here to Wood-Mizer. Now, I've been here before, but this is actually a newer building. The factory is just down the road. This is one of their training centers they just built maybe a year ago, maybe less than that, I'm not sure. But this is where the edger is, and if you buy a Sawmill, there's a good chance you may come here to pick it up instead of going to Indianapolis. So we'll take a look at everything, guys. So right here, we got a LT50. Got a customer getting trained on this one today. This is a really nice mill. It's got the Yanmar diesel, It's also got the remote back here. This is a really nice setup right here. If I didn't have my LT70, I would probably go with a setup just like this. You got the diesel, you got the remote right there on the back. And more importantly, you have the chain turner right there. That is really nice, especially for quarter sawing. And something else, guys, I've seen this sawmill before, but it's been a while. This right here was the very first Wood-Mizer sawmill, an LT30, manufactured in June of 1982. Purchased by Joseph, and I can't say his last name, and it got restored in January of 97. And something interesting about this, guys, even though the engines have changed and some of the dynamics have changed on these sawmills, they're pretty much the same design right there. You got a cantilever head, got the trailer, just a different color. So looking over here, you got some brand new sawmills ready to be picked up. We got a LT40. That one's got a gas engine. And over here we got a LT35, and it's actually got a diesel on it. I've never seen one of these in person. That's a pretty nice setup right there. Then another LT35 over there. It's also got a diesel engine. Hopefully these fans are not messing with my audio today. We'll have to wait and see. But back in here, they got parts, more machines, sharpeners, all kinds of stuff. Looks like a lot of Kubota diesel engines right there. That's a lot of engines. And there's an MR200, that's a multi-rip. All kinds of machines down here. Now we'll take a look at what we came for, our new edger. Dad's over here taking a look at it. Or he was. I think he's leaning on it now.
But yeah, I'm blessed to have two great kids. And all the two boys, they wrestle. That 1-year-old mine, he'll handle them.
All right, guys, it's the next day. Me and Dad got back pretty late last night. I think it was about 11 o'clock. So we couldn't get down here to get the edger set up just yet, so we're doing that today. And let me show you where we're at and what I got in mind. So this right here could change, guys, but right now the edger is set up on this side of the building. Like I said earlier in the previous video, my setup will probably change once we start sawmilling down here. But I had to leave enough room right here on this back side for this top roller table, right here. This right here is in the transport position right there. This will come off. It's 10 foot long. It goes right there, so I need enough room to be out of the weather. And as far as the placement goes, I think this is a good idea, but I may change my mind. I'm thinking the first of the week, I'll go ahead and bring the sawmill down here and start sawing. I know I don't have rock down here or concrete or nothing like that, but one of you guys had some good advice on my last video. You said, bring your sawmill down and start sawing for a few days or maybe even a few weeks before you put concrete down to make sure you like where it's at, because once it's done, it's done. And my wife actually said the same thing to me last night. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring the sawmill down here probably in the next video, maybe. We'll set it up over here in front of the edger on this wall where the truck is parked. And we'll saw right there for a few weeks. And if I like the setup, that's where we'll put the concrete. Or I may not do concrete, to be honest with you. I've been thinking about something else also. Where I saw at right now is concrete, and I've been up there sawing since 2018. Did we move here in 2018? 2018, 2019. 2019, I think. I can't remember. So about 5 or 6 years roughly. And guys, sawing on concrete is nice for keeping your sawmill clean, but it's pretty hard on your body. And I know you can put down those mats for anti-fatigue and stuff like that. I tried that. It didn't really work for me. But I've been down here all day long moving stuff around in this new building, getting the edger ready, and I can tell a difference. It's a lot better than being on concrete. So I'll tell you what, guys, after sawing down here for a few days, I may not even pour concrete down here because I like the way this ground feels as far as my knees and my lower back goes. But time will tell. I may pour concrete one day. It's hard to tell. So real fast here, guys, a few quick features on this edger. The model number is the EG200. You can get this in a gas engine, electric, or the diesel. I always go with the diesel because I love a diesel engine. This is a 25 horsepower Yanmar. It may be 24. I'll put it right here in the video. I can't remember if this is 25 or 24, to be honest with you. I think it's 25. That's a really good engine. I'm pretty sure it's the same engine that's on one of my tractors. Right here you got the ignition. This does have the glow plugs on it and all that good stuff. Over here is your throttle and your emergency stop. Of course, you got your outriggers. You got an in-feed table right there. This is the adjustment for your edger as far as the blades go. We'll talk about this when we put a board on here in a few minutes. Got the tongue right here, and this does collapse out of the way so you won't hit your shin on it. And it's a pretty simple machine, guys. You put your boards on there and it feeds them right in and edges both sides or one side, depends on what you want to do. And this machine right here, friends, is pretty much the missing link to my operation that I've been needing for a long time. Now, I used to own an edger. I actually bought the EG100 when I got my molder, but I never set it up here because I had nowhere to put it, and I sold it to a buddy of mine. And I started using it at that point because he was just down the road, and I realized how nice it is to have an edger. But guess what? He sold it. So he got out of the sawmill business altogether. So I've been without the ability to use the edger for the past few months, and I've been needing one pretty bad. And I never realized how bad a sawmill needs an edger until I started using his a few months ago. That used to be mine. That's kind of confusing, isn't it? You guys know what I'm talking about, though. But you guys will see over the next few months how important an edger is to a sawmill. You got to have one. There's a reason why Robert Milton at Hobby Hardwoods, Alabama, and my good buddy Jake Dean down at Custom Sawmilling, there's a reason why they both have an edger. I think Jake has 2 edgers. If you have a sawmill, an edger is really a must-have if you want to do a lot of production sawing, which is what I'm going to be getting into this winter. So I guess we'll get in the truck and move it out of the way. Go get some diesel fuel, go grab a few boards, and I've also got to get this top roller off and get it into position. And that thing's heavy. Might have to use the tractor for that. Also, one more thing here, guys, and we'll get started on this edger. I've been talking about my new t-shirt here in the past few videos. I'll put a link in the video description, and I'll show a picture of the shirt right here somewhere. And somebody asked in the last video why it said 2025. That's a misprint on one of the graphics. If you buy a shirt, it will say 2024. Mine actually came in the mail yesterday. Need to wash it before I put it on though. I can't stand wearing a brand new shirt. I gotta wash it for the first time. But anyways, if you want one of those shirts, there's links down below. And I also mentioned in that video, or the previous two, if you buy one of those shirts, the proceeds will go toward concrete. And here I am now talking about not even pouring concrete. Well, here's the deal. The proceeds from that shirt will still go into this building. It may not go for concrete, but it will go for stuff like power, lights, boxing it in, and grade work. So it will go back into this building, maybe not just for concrete. Actually, it will go toward concrete. I got to pour 2 pads back here on these lean-tos to stack lumber on. So forget what I just said. You guys hang in there. Let's go ahead real fast and get this tongue out of the way before I hit my shin on it. And also, I will open up the main part of the edger before this video is over, and I'll show you guys what the blades look like and all the inner workings. I think there's a clip right in there. Can't stress enough how nice it is to work in a building of this size. It should slide right out of the way. Good deal. All right, friends, now we need 3 things: a socket set, some lumber to put through the edger, and most importantly, some fuel. And I think I could have some diesel fuel in that transfer tank in the back of the truck. Let's go check that out first before we go up to the house and get more. I'm pretty sure I got some diesel in that transfer tank, but I can't remember. I've also got a problem with this hose. It's got a kink in it right there, and this is a cheap hose that came with this pump. And I just ordered one the other day. It should be here tomorrow. It's supposed to have a kink-free hose. Hopefully it fits that problem right there. Oh, I got some in there. That's good. Man, it's hot today. We sure could use some rain. Now, go get the socket set and a few boards. I'll be right back. So this roller table on the top here is kind of heavy. There was 2 of us up at Wood-Mizer that lifted this off, and a little too heavy for one person. So we'll hook a chain to it, bring it over the excavator, and do it the easy way. I thought I could do this by myself, but a little too heavy. Well, that right there, friends, was a lot easier up in Batesville when we had about 2 or 3 people doing that. I got it done, but 2 people would have been a whole lot easier getting that roller table lined up. That thing's pretty heavy. So before we run our first board through it, I got one thing to fix. Let me show you. So the inside of this pole barn is not perfectly level. I showed you guys that when we started doing the excavation work back around that back corner. I got a lot more work to do right there as well before I'm done in here. But over here on this side, this is a low corner right here, and you can tell it really good right now because that edger is level. And I don't know if this will come through on camera or not, but the roller table is going downhill. That needs to be kind of flat. I don't want the boards to come off here and go flying off over there in the dirt. See if we can fix that with a little coil piece of 2x4 or something. And maybe later on I'll bring some dirt over here and level this up. It may be too tall. See what it looks like. All right, so that was good enough to get it close to level. I'll check that later. But for right now, let's fire this thing up and edge some pine. All right, guys, real fast here how this thing works. Of course, you turn it on, and as soon as you turn it on, the feed rollers start moving. So does the two blades. There's no clutch in this machine. Right here is your settings for your width of cut. It's in 1/4 of an inch increments. You got 5 and 4 and so on. Now up here on the machine, friends, is a fence, and this right here is very important. Let's say that your board is straight on both ends. You just want to make it a 6-inch wide board instead of 7. Well, therefore, you just need one of the saw blades. You don't need 2 of them, so you put this fence up, and that's on 0 as far as the gauge goes down there that you're looking at on the machine. So real fast, you just flip that up, and when you're not using it, it's over here out of the way. So you flip that down. That way one blade's only doing the cutting. You set your width on the dial indicator, and you get your width that you want. Now here's the other scenario. Let's say your board has live edge on both sides. You want to put the fence out of the way. That way both of your saw blades are cutting on both sides of the board. You feed it in over here on the 0 line. Before that though, of course, you set your width, send the board through, out it comes. You got 2 straight edges on both sides. All right, guys, I think this roller table is still downhill just a little. These boards are floating off of it. Real fast, let's check the accuracy on the edger. I set these first 2 for 5 inches, and take my word for it, they are 5 inches. Let's check this other one. Right on the money. Good deal. This one here, I set for 6 because it was about 7, if I remember right. And that's what we got, 6 inches. Good deal, guys. Works really good. I'm gonna take the top off the edger now, and I'll show you guys what the blades look like and the inner workings of this machine. Now the 2 blades on this machine, you can resharpen them. So that's good right there. And I'm not sure how much life we'll get out of them. They should last a pretty long time though. They look like there's some high quality stuff. All right, guys, right there you got the 2 blades that edge the lumber. Right there are the rollers. And let me move this in and out and you'll see how smooth that adjustment is. As you can see right there, no problem setting your width of cut. All right, guys, I guess I'm done for the day. I'm gonna do some more cleanup down here, but nothing real exciting. So in closing, I want to thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. I want to say thanks to everybody that's bought one of the t-shirts dedicated to this barn build. If you haven't done so yet, there's a link down below and also in the top comment. Go grab you one if you have time. Really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys back here on the next video.